I have to believe that you were sent here for a reason.
Hey, welcome to Screening Room. I'm Alex Costello.
I'm John Church.
And I'm Emily Plahetka.
Well, since today is Earth Day, if you guys knew that, did you guys know that?
Of course.
We're actually going to do a topic today of nature as well as cinematography and cool stuff like that. And we got some good movies in space, movies in the ocean and water, but most importantly, forest and nature. And here to talk about more of that is Emily. Right on, Emily.
Yep, thank you. So, within the film Into the Wild, this film is inspired by Christopher McCandless and is actually from a real-life story. So, this character, Christopher, freshly graduates from college with a future for him, but he decides to fulfill his adventure in the West and drop everything he has, abandon his family with a little bit of resentment, give all of his money in donations away, and just head to the West, fulfill his adventure. For 2 years, he walks the earth with no phone, no pool, no pet, and no cigarette. He's an extremist. He's an aesthetic voyager whose home is the road. Escape from Atlanta, thou shalt not return, because the West is the best. And now, after 2 rambling years, comes the final and greatest adventure. The climatic battle to kill the false being within and victoriously conclude the spiritual evolution. 10 days and nights of freight trains and hitchhiking, bringing him to the great white north. No longer to be poisoned by civilization, he flees and walks alone upon the land, to become lost in the wild. This film is a great story of the character Christopher McCandless. You may have heard him as Alexander Supertramp. Within this story, Christopher travels from the wheat fields of South Dakota to kayaking the Colorado River and meeting nonconformists in the Slab City. This is a great story because there are many great connections made, and this film may inspire you to take an adventure as Christopher did. Within the West, Christopher also makes enough money to finally fulfill his adventure in Alaska. So before I give too much away about this adventure, let's check out the trailer.
Why would I want a new car? The Datsun runs great. I don't want anything.
Everything has to be difficult.
There are people in this world who go looking for adventure. Christopher McCandless was searching for himself.
So you're a leather now.
I'm a leather?
Yeah, leather tramp. That's what they call the ones that hoof it.
Don't you think you ought to be getting a job and making something of this life?
I only got one plan. I'm going to Alaska.
Alaska? Or City, Alaska?
I'm gonna be all the way out there.
Yes.
In the wild.
What are you doing when we're there? Now you're in the wild. What are you doing?
You're just living, man. I read somewhere how important it is in life not necessarily to be strong, but to feel strong. To measure yourself at least once.
Where are your mom and dad?
Living their lives somewhere.
Did your folks know where you are? I wasn't dreaming, Walt. I didn't imagine it. I heard him. I heard Chris.
Son, how long you been out here?
A couple of weeks.
And before that?
I went to South Dakota. I worked for this guy named Wayne.
What do you think about all this?
I like all this. I took the Colorado River all the way down through the Grand Canyon and did rapids.
What's the N stand for?
North.
Your great Alaskan adventure.
If you want something in life, reach out and grab it.
So in the film, you can see that Alexander Supertramp, or Chris, has a great adventure in Alaska. He gets up there and tries to survive, and he finds a magic bus, and he tries to survive off of eating like porcupine, kills a moose, and all these great things, and just tries to survive. And I think that's awesome because of I'm relating to nature and sustaining the earth because it's Earth Day, so why not?
One thing I definitely loved about the film was definitely the camera angles, how a lot of the wide shots they had of the forests and the river, I thought was very, very well played out, especially the scenes where he was almost in trouble, like the part where he almost drowned in the river. They were very well played out scenes done by the actor. That's what I thought.
It made it feel so real. Like every time I watch it, it's just so, it makes you want to go out there. It makes you want to go.
Like your heart sinks.
Yeah, your heart just like sinks into it, and it makes you just want to go out and. I mean, not that you should quit school. You shouldn't do that. I want to get a good job. But I have a friend right now that's taking 2 years off to do exactly what he's doing. And right now he's in Colorado and hiking up some mountains there and doing all cool stuff like that.
Like, I wonder how much it costs to just get all those materials so you're able to do that.
Yeah, he's saved up for like 4 years to do this, so he's been gone for like a year now. But I can't imagine doing that. Would be so awesome.
Well, I think that if you did something what Alexander did or whatever in the movie, that he did all of this without any money. He just dropped everything, and I kind of want to do something like that, even though I'm in college right now. Just drop everything and work for someone and just like rebuild everything you have to.
I'm not sure if I'd be able to. I don't think I could not do that.
I can't imagine John doing that.
I couldn't do that.
But I really enjoy how they show in the beginning that his parents were really wealthy, and they said like, here, we got you like a car or whatever, and
he wanted that stuff, which to me
would
be like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, and he didn't want to be a part of that. It's kind of like the movie Interstate 60, if you've seen that.
I've not seen that movie.
Oh, very good movie. You should definitely watch it. But it's kind of like the same thing. Like his parents are wealthy, and he kind of wants to break away from that and show that he can be his own person and leave kind of society alone and find himself.
What we're all saying is it's definitely an inspirational movie. If you want a good pick-me-up movie, this is one you want to pop into your Blu-ray player or find on Netflix somewhere.
Definitely, this movie will inspire you because of each scene is so unique. There are multiple scenes that are so beautiful. One of my favorite scenes, is the scene where he's eating an apple and he's like, oh, this is a really good apple, it's super organic, blah, blah, blah. But then the film, the way they record it is they get into the fourth dimension, they break the fourth wall because of he's filming it, and then all of a sudden he looks into the camera, and you don't normally do that in movies because of it's not a documentary of him, it's just a movie. So they kind of have interesting scenes here that aren't necessarily like a movie.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was kind of funny, too, talking about that fourth dimension kind of thing. They do have a lot of slow-motion shots. If you could see in the trailer, like when he's taking a shower, a lot of the slow motions. I'm not sure, sure, it added some dramatic effect, but I did say it was kind of a little over the top, personally, for me. But other than that, it was a very, very well-done movie. Well, hey, stay tuned. We're going to show you some perfect pets, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Make a toast with 9-week-old Chardonnay. Watch out though, even though this kitten's classy, she's a tad bit sassy. Meet Finley, a fine pit bull mix of 10 months, who loves his chew toys, and is always on the run. Lose your marbles? Well, meet Marble. This cat of 10 months will bring back your senses in no time. Meet Davy, an ecstatic Chihuahua mix of only 3 years. He loves to play, and he'll keep you going all day long.
To find out more about adoption for these pets or others, contact the Cooley Region Humane Society at 781-4014.
Again, the number for the Cooley Region Humane Society is 781-4014. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen the ocean, so every time I watch a movie where there's so much water and ocean and things like that, I get super excited.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, my favorite director, Wes Anderson, did a phenomenal job with the movie Life Aquatic. Oh, and you haven't seen it yet? Well, you know what? I'll tell you about it. So Life Aquatic has Bill Murray in it, and Bill Murray plays this character. He's a captain, and his name is Steve Zuzu, and he has a crew, and they're called the Zuzu team. And I always pronounce that wrong, but that time it was pretty good. So anyway, Team Zuzu goes out and they explore they go around to different oceans, and they film all these different creatures in the water. And when they were out one time filming a documentary, one of Team Steve Zuzu's best friends that's in the crew to film all these documentaries got killed by a shark. And the thing is that it was a shark they've never seen before, and they called it, I think it was the tiger shark, or the jaguar shark, excuse me. And so Bill Murray's character Steve got really upset, and they showed the documentary, and when they showed it, he said after they showed the video, he said, "I'm going to go and I'm going to find that jaguar shark." So the whole movie is them trying to go and find this jaguar shark with the film crew that went to go shoot the documentary where his friend got murdered. And it's just super interesting, as of course Wes Anderson has a very interesting style of shooting, as well as his cinematography is always very equal and very what's the word?
It's very
symmetrical.
Symmetrical,
It's always
CGI-ish.
symmetrical.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Very symmetrical. You've got a lot of wide open shots.
Yeah, but before I give too much away, let's take a look at the trailer.
Supposedly, Cousteau and his cronies invented the idea of putting walkie-talkies into the helmet. But we made ours with a special rabbit ear on the top so we could pipe in some music.
The Belafonte, home to Team Sisu. Skilled crew of deep-sea divers, adventurers, documentary filmmakers.
Action!
Led by internationally renowned oceanographer Captain Steve Sisu, expert on every aspect of marine life.
Swamp leeches, everybody! Check for swamp leeches. Nobody else got hit? I'm the only one? What's the deal?
But there remains one form of life about which Captain Sisu knows very little.
You're supposed to be my son, right? I want you on Team Sisu.
The answer's yes.
Well, it's got to be. I'm already a red cap and a Speedo. Oh! This will be Team Zisu's most ambitious adventure to date. I'm going to go on an overnight drunk, and in 10 days, I'm going to set out to find the shark that ate my friend and destroy it.
What would be the scientific purpose of killing it?
Revenge.
You must swear, legally swear, that you'll not kill that shark.
Split into two groups. I'll take Ned, Ogata, and Wolodarski.
Thanks. Thanks a lot for not picking me.
We're being led on an illegal suicide mission.
I'm gonna fight you, Steve.
You never say, "I'm going to fight you, Steve." You just smile and act natural, and then you sucker punch it. Action. Are you finding what you were looking for out here with me? I hope so. Quiet out there tonight. Can you hear the jack whales singing?
It's beautiful. I wonder what they're saying.
Well, that was the sludge tanker over there, but there you go.
Well, this was the first effort from director Wes Anderson since his critically beloved movie, The Royal Tenenbaums. So The Life Aquatic really just gave up a good rising to Wes Anderson once again, and I know it was very popular at the time. And it also had a lot of critically acclaimed actors that he's had in almost all of his movies, like Owen Wilson and Bill Murray, which we all know that Wes Anderson loves to use in almost all of his movies. And they do such a great job in every movie, and they're not the same character, and they don't act anyway. They're always very diverse with how they act. And I really enjoyed the score, who was the song, if you were listening in the trailer. There was a bunch of covers by Sue George, which is this awesome French singer, and after I saw that movie, I just downloaded all of Sue George's songs. He's amazing, and I really loved how almost all the animals in the sea creatures were fake, but it had this very artsy feeling about it. And I know, John, you were talking that you like
what
that
I personally love about
well.
his movies is that it's the creatures, they look fake, and I almost enjoy that because it makes me almost want to believe it more. Just like, for instance, the seahorse, how it almost had little claws on it, and the sharks and everything. I just loved the way they looked and added to them. Now, granted, I wouldn't say it's a favorable movie on my end, but I enjoyed the CGIs and the wide shots of the submarine going down into the caverns. I did enjoy all that much, and the dialogue was pretty good. For me, I give it maybe like a 6, 7 out of 10. C rating. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed it, but it wouldn't be the first movie I'd pop in.
I really enjoy, like I said before, the symmetricalness of it. Every single Wes Anderson movie has that, and I really enjoy, like you were saying, the shots that he has. They were showing the submarine and the rooms and things like that, and they actually had where it was just one big room, and it had a shot just showing all the different rooms where it looked like they chopped the submarine.
I did like that. I like how they filmed
that.
that. You know, just had the set and then the green screen in front of the mirror or the windows to put whatever they wanted behind it. Obviously, the ocean. I did like how they filmed it. I just didn't like the writing of it to an extent. It wasn't my only nitpick about it.
I haven't seen the movie, but I definitely think that it kind of appears like a comedy, but not really. You kind of have to have that humor for some of the funny lines that they have and enjoy that, because I think that I would really enjoy a movie like that, just sit down and laugh a little bit, but have a serious type of story. Excuse me. So we're going to take a little break with a UWL promo. We'll be right back. Thank you.
At the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, surround yourself with potential. Surround yourself with lifelong friends. Step on campus and be welcomed with a friendly smile. It's just like home. Surround yourself with nature's beauty. Nestled in western Wisconsin's driftless area, it's perfect for learning. Hike the bluffs, bike the marsh, soar. Surround yourself with challenging academics. Our motto is Men's Corpus Gay, Latin for mind and body. Experience a whole education. Conduct research. Surround yourself with distinction. Surround yourself with UW-La Crosse.
Hello, welcome back to Screening Room. Alright, so if you have not seen 2013's really popular movie Gravity, well, here's a little sneak peek of what it is. Gravity is about two characters, Sandra Bullock and George Clooney, who were out on a routine mission in space to fix a satellite that is malfunctioning. No big deal. When all of a sudden the Russians launch a nuclear missile at their own satellites, causing it to blow up, which was fine, except for the problem it got caught in the gravitational pull of the Earth, which then ran into the satellite, the U.S. satellite, which basically killed everybody on board except for George Clooney and Sandra Bullock. The rest of the entire movie is them basically floating around in space. Now, it sounds a little boring. Now, don't get me wrong, it is to an extent, but this movie is not more for dialogue. It is more for a visual sense of how they filmed it. So before I get into how they filmed it and how this was a mind-breaking or mind-bending movie, let's take a look at this trailer.
Explorer's been hit. Explorer, do you read? Explorer, over. Explorer. Astronaut is off structure. Dr. Stone is off structure. Dr. Stone intact. You must be attached. If you don't detach, that arm's going to carry you too far. Listen to my voice. You need to focus. I'm losing visual of you. In a few seconds, I won't be able to track you. You need to detach. I can't see you anymore. Do it now. Let's fight. I've lost visual of Dr. Stone. Houston, I've lost visual of Dr. Stone. Do you copy?
Yes, I copy. I'm detached. I don't know. I'm spinning. I can't.
Report your position.
GPS is down. I can't. It's down. I can't.
Give me a visual.
I told you nothing. I see nothing.
You have a visual of Explorer.
No.
You have a visual of ISS.
No.
I need you to focus. Anything. The sun and the earth. Give me coordinates.
I can't breathe.
Give me
I can't breathe.
Dr. Stone. You're burning oxygen. You have to sip, not gulp.
So where's home, Dr. Stone?
Lake Zurich, Illinois.
Is there somebody down there looking out, thinking about you?
I had a daughter. A little girl with brown hair. Tell her that I'm not quitting.
This movie is very realistic. Now, when you're watching it in theaters, which sadly it's not there anymore, you watched it at home, there's a lot of awkward silence because, well, sound doesn't travel in space. So you're going to be hearing a lot of heavy breathing from George Clooney and Sandra Bullock. The movie does have a happy ending where she does live. Not trying to be a spoiler because there's plenty more where that comes from. But what did you think? What did you guys think of the movie before I get into the specs of it?
I have so many things to say about it, but I'll just cut it really short. I thought that the trailer pretty much summed up pretty much everything that happens in the movie.
Every time I see the trailer, I literally get goosebumps.
It's kind of sad because then that's what a lot of trailers are like these days. Is they show like every single thing.
Sadly.
So then when you see the movie, you're like, well, you showed every single exciting moment in the movie. What was the point of watching the movie? It kind of made me sad that they didn't take it into a kind of like 127 hours where it's such a short period of time. But then they kind of show some more B-roll of like their life of what was going on prior to that time.
Again, yeah, I think it goes into the dialogue in this movie is there isn't a lot of dialogue. At about the first 10 minutes is normal talking in space, like Houston, we have a problem, to after the two shuttles collide, and then it's basic talk of like, hey, where do you live? I have a daughter. You know, they're all floating around in space. Basically, they both were thinking they were going to die. Just having small talk, and the movie is more based around visual effects. The way the movie was filmed, about 90% of it was George Clooney and Sandra Bullock were in this huge projection LED dome, and were attached to kind of like, I can't really describe it, almost like harnesses that basically floated around. They looked like they had, were in space where there was no gravity, and it was just phenomenal. I wish we had some pictures to show you. But the movie, the reason why it did so well is not necessarily because of its dialogue, but because how it was filmed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a totally new way to film a movie, and the hardness. I saw a documentary or like a little YouTube video on that. It was very interesting. But like I said again, like I am more of the. I love cinematography as much as the next person, but you can only take it for so long. I mean, it was like a 2.5-hour movie. I would have got as much into it as if it was a half an hour long, because you would have known and saw all that they had to see.
Definitely.
With cinematography.
It's definitely a movie that if you're a movie buff, or if you're somebody who loves the making of movies, that's a movie that you're sure going to go see. If you're more into dialogue and plots, which there is the plot, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of action in this movie, but there's a lot of dead time, a lot of more looking at the shots and looking at how beautiful the Earth is versus dialogue and character action.
Watching that trailer though really kind of gives away the whole movie, as many trailers do, but I think that if you want to sit down and appreciate a film, how it's made like that, I would definitely do something like that. However, watching the trailer, I definitely got a little afraid. Like their breathing really just like my heart started beating and stuff like that. It made me feel like, wow, it was actually out in space. So how today we can actually film and make it like look so real makes me imagine like, wow, I just really want to. I don't know, it just makes me like get really sucked into the movie.
What makes me really excited too when I see this, it's like, okay, so we're at this stage now of filming where, we can make it look like you're in space. What happens in like 10, maybe 20 years? Are we going to be filming in space, actually making movies in space? Maybe how realistic that will be, and then maybe we'll see gravity as not being as realistic as we think it is now. But
kind of reminds me of King Kong.
Oh
the
yeah, I love
one.
King Kong.
Looking back at it, the dinosaurs in that movie, I was like, oh my god, that was so amazing.
And now we look at it and you're like
man,
it's CGI now.
So good.
All that movie was filled with green screen. You can totally just tell. Man, I love King Kong. Peter Jackson, loved him to death.
He was. That was great.
It's amazing how far we've come with technology. I'm looking forward to seeing what new movies are going to be coming out with better CGI, better green screen. I'm excited.
And then when all those things come out, imagine that we'll look back and be like, wow, that was really, the graphics that they had was really bad back then. And we're like, oh, now we think, oh, that's so amazing. But in the future, it's going to be so much better.
Can't wait to see the new Jurassic Park that's going to be coming out next year. I'm excited.
I think the craziest thing about gravity is imagining acting with nothing around you and pretending like all that stuff is there.
I give that's why the actors so many props. Well, we'll be right back after Perfect Pet, so stay tuned.
Make a toast with 9-week-old Chardonnay. Watch out though, even though this kitten's classy, she's a tad bit sassy. Meet Finley, a fine pit bull mix of 10 months, who loves his chew toys and is always on the run. Lose your marbles? Well, meet Marble. This cat of 10 months will bring back your senses in no time. Meet Davy, an ecstatic Chihuahua mix of only 3 years. He loves to play, and he'll keep you going all day long.
To find out more about adoption for these pets or others, contact the Cooley Region Humane Society at 781-4014.
Those were some cute pets, weren't they? Well, if you want to adopt some pets at the Cooley Region Humane Society, the number, again, is 781-4014.
How about that one that bounces? Boing,
boing, boing, boing. It's so much little...
Anyways, going back to talking about how King Kong related to gravity with their CGI, I just found that amazing because I was thinking the same exact thing with those dinosaurs, and how they filmed Naomi Watts being grabbed by King Kong. It was just a huge, giant ape hand, and then the rest, everything behind her was all green screen and blue screen. I just, again, find it amazing. People say acting actually is a very hard job, especially when you have to act in front of literally a green screen and, for instance, a giant ape hand around your body. Or
Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Have you seen that yet?
I actually have not seen that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the monkey, the main character, he actually is a guy with all those little balls on him.
The CGI balls on him.
Yeah, and so they show him and he's like, acting like this, and who is the main character? The guy, I don't remember. But anyways,
I want to say Franco, but was
it was Franco.
Yeah.
So just imagine holding this guy's hand and treating him like, you're my little monkey friend.
Like Lord of the Rings and Smeagol,
Yeah, exactly. I think that's so crazy to me.
What's even creepy? That's his actual voice too, which is even creepier.
Smeagol.
Thinking about the movie though, Planet of the Apes, there was a movie before that, Planet of the Apes. I don't know if you guys saw the old one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely weird how there's one movie, completely different story than how they made the new movie. And how the costumes are completely different, and now there's sometimes in movies people wear costumes, and sometimes it's just completely like animation and whatnot. So.
Okay, so going back to the Life Aquatic, that movie, I don't know why, and I tell me if I'm wrong here, it reminds me kind of Napoleon Dynamite.
What?
At least the music, I think the music.
The score was so good.
Yeah, it reminds me of that. I don't want to say the movie's stupid, but it just gave me that sense of am I gonna watch one of those movies that everyone talks about for 5 years and then it ends up being a week-long
The thing is, Life Aquatic is so...
Here we go. All right, give me the dish, go.
No one talks about it. It's so underrated. It's Zooey Deschanel, even though she's super hot now and popular, but Zooey Deschanel, no one knew of her. People are gonna find out Wes Anderson's The Shizzle and just watch all of his movies. Out
of all the movies, I'd say Gravity is probably the best.
Well,
by far.
You know what? There's actually some new movies coming out in theaters that are pretty good too.
All right, well, enlighten me. Let's see. All right, so here we got. Good. Noah. Noah is actually a pretty well done movie. If you guys are into the biblical stories, Rio 2. I'm looking forward to seeing Rio 2 because I love the first one. You know
what? Rio?
I have not seen any of these, so I will have to check out one.
I love Rio. I could literally stand dance to the music while I'm watching it. Love it, love it, love it. And then Bears. Isn't that one is the Disney nature movie, right? Where they go and document a family of bears.
I love those documentaries.
I think they followed them for 5 to 10 years, and the cubs grew up. So I think that was I haven't seen that. I don't have the need to go see it. But maybe someday if it comes on Netflix, I'll pop it in someday. But yeah, Heaven is for real. Heaven is for real.
For real.
For real. It's if I remember correctly, that's a story about a child that had was in some type of coma or was possibly going to die, and he unfortunately he did not die, which is great, and came back and actually said he saw heaven and went to heaven and says it's real. It's a portrayal of his story of heaven.
That's actually based off a book also.
Oh, book. All right. Yeah, nice.
So what are DVDs now? There's The Nut Job, The Invisible Woman, and The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I have not seen that one yet.
That got so many bad reviews.
Was that a Jim Carrey movie?
No. That's with, what's his name?
Oh, God. Steve Carell?
Yeah.
Who? I have no idea who it was.
I do like their soundtrack.
It's a guy from that modeling movie.
That modeling movie.
Ben Stiller.
Oh, Ben Stiller.
Wow, we're really smart today.
I'm not a Ben Stiller
fan. And he
travels
around, or it's he's dreaming of traveling around. I don't know if he's actually doing it, but he works out a magazine. It was not a good movie.
Oh, if you haven't checked out that film, the soundtrack to that film is really good.
I listened to that on
at least one
A-Track
positive
the other
thing came
day.
out of
Yeah,
that
there you go. Good job, Ben Stiller.
Oh yeah, well then The Nut Job is an animated series about basically animals trying to get nuts and surviving, and all the chaotic stuff they go throughout like the neighborhoods trying to get nuts and berries and stuff. So another kid movie from DreamWorks.
I've never heard of that, and it does not sound good.
That's not my kind of movie either, but you know what, we live. Anyways, thank you so much for watching Screening Room today. Tune in next time. Till then, see you later, Lacrosse.